Hello everyone, today I decided to change it up a bit. Instead of our usual cooking video, I'm going to be taking you to Hakone, my favorite Japanese garden. I just got to Hakone, so I'm going to go ahead and show you around now. Right here are Tanazaku trees, or wishing trees, and basically what it is there are a whole bunch of bamboo trees here, and people write specific wishes, and then they place their wish on this tree. This is the grand entrance to Hakone Gardens. After entering the gardens, you take a walk down a wonderfully scenic path filled with bamboo trees leading up to an old building. Believe it or not, this old building was actually a tea house built in Kyoto, Japan in the 1700s. The building was later taken down and reassembled in Hakone Gardens in 1992. Now it is a museum of sorts, including a ton of different artifacts, like a kimono. After leaving the museum, you can head to another building where there's 1,000 origami paper cranes. And in Japan, paper cranes represent a long life. Next, you walk down a very scenic path lined with native Japanese plants. After walking on the path for a few more minutes, there is a trellis overhead lined with all sorts of vines and flowers, and it was such a relief because it was very, very humid outside. It must have been like 95 degrees, but it felt even hotter because it was humid. As you continue on, you have a great view of the koi pond, which I'll be stopping by later. We're almost to the koi pond now, but before we get there, we're gonna pass through this beautiful bamboo forest. The last thing to see before reaching the koi pond is a small waterfall. I made it to the koi fish pond, and I'm gonna go ahead and feed the fish with some fish food that I bought at the store. Alright, that is our tour of Hakone Gardens, and I have something really special to try with you guys once we get home. I just got back home and I have this to try, the brown sugar boba ice cream bar. So recently I've been hearing a lot about this from other YouTubers, and I was kind of excited to try it, and then again, I was also kind of not excited to try it because think about that, a brown sugar boba ice cream bar. To me, that doesn't sound super good because it sounds like you're gonna have an ice cream bar and you're gonna have boba in it, but that does sort of sound good, but then you're gonna have really hard boba, because my experience is at the end of drinking boba, a lot of the boba will get really rock hard, so my worry is that that might be like sort of like this. But now I'm gonna go ahead and read the ingredients on here, if I can find them. Looks like they're on the bottom, which is a little bit different. I'm kind of used to the ingredients usually on the side. On the side, they just have the nutrition facts. So let's see. It says water is the first ingredient. So that's kind of interesting to me because it's an ice cream bar. And it also says mini brown sugar mochi. That's kind of interesting. So does that mean it's not boba? Let's read the ingredients. So I'm going to warn you guys, this expires in 2022, May. So I'm not sure how this is going to be. Sounds like there's going to be a lot of preservatives, and already I see a lot. Well, the first ingredient in the brown sugar mochi is maltose, and then the next one is acylated discharge adisipate. I didn't even pronounce that right because it's such a long name. And then it says water, brown sugar, cocoa powder. So that's interesting. It says that's for the flavor of the brown sugar. And there's a lot of other ingredients too. And it also says glutinous rice flour, or glutinous rice powder, so that's very different. So I'm used to glutinous rice flour, which you use for like a lot of mochi, like desserts, but this is glutinous rice powder, so I'm not really sure what that is, but I think that's probably just like ground up glutinous rice. And there's also some tapioca starch, so to me, it sounds like the boba is made out of a mixture of like tapioca starch and mochi. Sounds interesting. After reading the ingredients, I think I have a little bit more hope that this might be actually edible, because I was thinking earlier that the boba might be really hard, but my guess is they'll be very soft because it's made out of mochi as well. So let's go ahead and open this up and see how they look. Alright, So this is the bar on the outside. It's very similar to the front package that you saw earlier. And you can see the boba bar. It looks like the outside is ice cream, and it looks like it's filled with like a whole bunch of gooey boba in the middle. So let's go ahead and give this a taste. So I'm super excited about this. Look at this boba bar. This looks so good. It almost reminds me of the drink I made a few weeks ago. Actually, it was longer than a few weeks ago. It was more like a month ago. So I remember I made some brown sugar boba, and it really reminds me of this, because you can see all the milky ice cream, and you can see all the dark brown sugar boba syrup. So this is gonna be delicious. Let's give it a taste. The texture is very interesting. It doesn't really remind me of ice cream. It almost reminds me of the texture of a homemade ice cream, because it's very firm and very icy. You know, in fact, it almost reminds me of a popsicle texture, but the flavor is delicious. You know, the brown sugar almost has some sort of coffee-like or chocolatey flavor. I'm guessing that's due to the cocoa powder, and it just tastes absolutely delicious. The ice cream part is almost the best part. It is super creamy, and it tastes really fresh. It almost reminds me of like Japanese ice cream, although this is made in Taiwan. And I love the boba because they're super chewy, and they have a delicious brown sugar flavor. It's super amazing. Guys, this is absolutely so delicious. I have to give it a 10 out of 10. It's really a must try, so make sure to head over to your local Asian market to get this, because these are fantastic. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure if you did to give it a like, and also make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.